Hello guys, so welcome to another video from Shiloka Codes. In this video we're going to be discussing and also implementing JWT. So what is JWT? JWT is full name for Json Web Tokens, and in this video we're going to be going through this content, JWT utils. So we're going to be creating this class. After this class, JWT utils. So what the purpose of this class is to create the token, the JWT token. So we'll be seeing how to create a JWT token and every other function that we'll need for this in this class here. Then the next one we're going to be creating is JWT authentication. So in this video, it's going to be a series, so we're going to first treat on this. After this, the next video will treat on this, and the next one just like that. So coming here, steps in creating the JWT utils class. So to create the JWT utils class, there are 3 steps that we need to know. The first step is the function that creates the JWT tokens. So this function, every other function revolve around this create JWT function. So when we enter into IntelliJ, you will see how we create those functions. Then the next one is to create function to extract the username and expiration time from the tokens. So the first one is to create JWT tokens. Then the second function is to create is to extract the username and the expiration time from those tokens, and we'll be using this extract claims to do that. Then the last thing we are going to do is to create functions that will check if this JWT tokens is valid or is expired. So if it is expired, then the time at which it was created has passed. So that is how you know that it's expired. And then for valid, you will check if the time has passed, and also if the user that is found in the token, if it is equal with the user that is found from the user details, that is from the form. So if all these matches is equal, then it will give true to that function, that to the is valid function. So we'll see how to implement all this when we get to IntelliJ. So first thing first, what is user details? So user details in Spring Security is an interface that is used to represent the user details, such as the username, password, the authorities, that's the rules, that is maybe a user to a admin, and whether the account is enabled or not. It serves as a contract for implementing user related functionalities and is commonly used by Spring Security's authentication and authorization mechanisms. So that's we're going to be implementing these user details to hold the username, password, and the authorities for our user. So I'm just saying this now because we'll be using it when we create our user class. You will see that we will implement these user details to hold these details for us. And also, so the next thing, what is JWT? So a JWT token is a compact URL safe means of representing claims between 2 parties. It consists of 3 parts: a header, a payload, and a signature. So the header is the JWT token consists of 3 parts. That is the header, the payload or the claims, and the signature. So in the header, the type of token and the algorithm used for that JWT is stated in the header. Then the payload is, or the claims, so it can be called payload or claims, is where the user details is stored. So, and then the signature is the signature for that JWT token. So if you look here, you're going to see in JWT.io, and that is the website. You will see this algorithm HS256. So coming down here, you see that it's divided into header, payload, and the signature of the JWT. So in the header, there is the algorithm and token type. The payload, you can see, is the user details. That's the name of the user, maybe the time that the token was created. It can also hold the role of the user. Maybe he's a user or an admin. And then the signature is the, you can see it here, the signature of the JWT. So coming here, you see the ones on red is for the header, the ones here is for the payload, and the last one is for the signature used. So this from here to here is the JWT token that we're going to create in our JWT utils class. Okay, so come back here. So first of all, to understand the JWT utils class, to understand how to create the JWT utils class, we have to first understand the purpose of that class. And the purpose, as I've said, is to create the JWT token. So the string, that's why we need that class. So every other functions revolve around the create JWT function. So now to create the JWT token, we use the JWTs.builder. So this is a common syntax used in libraries that support the creation and signing of Json Web Tokens. So the JWT builder enables us to add various claims and configure the token before it is generated. So you will see the various claims here. So you are hearing claims. So claims is statements. There are statements that contain the entity of that contains the entity of a user and every other additional data of that user. So the claims can contain the user ID, the expiration time of the token, the issuing date of that token. So you see things like sign with, claims, subject. So this subject here is the username of that user. So you can see that it is contained here. The issued at is the date at which the token was created for that user. The expiration time is the time that the token is set to expire. So you can see that these are all claims created for the particular user. So coming down here, you can see that the sign dot sign with signs the JWT using the HMAC SHA-512 algorithm. So this is an algorithm that we're using to get the key for that we'll use that to create the JWT token. So is you will use it, you state that key here, and then the subject contains the username of the user. As I've said before, the issued out states the date in milliseconds that the token was created. The expiration time states the time in which the JWT token is set to expire. And then the claims method is typically used to set the claims of the JWT. So it is created as a map of string and objects containing the user details. Then finally, you will see this dot compat. This dot compat method is what generates the JWT tokens as a string. So understanding all this is crucial because as I've said before, all the old functions revolve and evolve around this function, the create WT function. So you will see when we enter into IntelliJ, you will see this we'll see us creating this create JWT function first before every other function. So okay, so let's get into this. Let's get into the IntelliJ. So you can see here JWT utils. This is the class we're going to be creating, and as I've said before, the JWT utils is the main purpose of this class is for the creation of the JWT tokens. It's for the creation of the JWT tokens. So in this class, we are going to be creating the JWT tokens. So to create it, we will have to create a function. So we're going to be using a functional interface. So function, what function here does is that it takes in one argument and then returns another data type. So function string, function user details. So in this case, we are taking in user details and we are returning the string, that is the tokens, the JWT tokens. So here we take in user details, which is the details of the user. So this user details is from the users class. So you can see it here, implements user details. So this user details, as we have said before, is used to contain the username, first name, last name, email, password of the user. So this user details contain all this information from the user. So we are using that information from the user to now create the token for that user. So that's what is this. So create, so this is the function name equal to, so we're taking in user details, yes, and then we're going to return jwts.builder. So as I've said before, this jwts.builder is a syntax that helps us to generate the token. So it helps us to generate the claims and then generate the token. So dot sign width, then dot claims dot subject, which is for the username of the user. Then we're going to issue at the time at which it was issued, and then the expiration time too, and then dot compat. Okay, so sign width is the key. We need to get the key here. Dot get. So this key here will create a function up here. So you can say private. Secret key spec. So secret key spec is the what we're going to be returning. Okay, so because we're going to be returning this and we're going to be taking no argument but returning secret key spec, we can also wrap this in our supplier. So just as you know, supplier takes in no arguments but returns something. So we're going to use the supplier here. So the next thing to do is that we take in the key. So the key here is going to be our the SHA-512. So I will show you how to do that. So coming to this SHA-512 online. So this is the algorithm or a hash a hash generator. So it will generate a hash of any string you put into here. So any string at all to generate something like this for you. So let's say we put in what is this. So you can actually use any word at all. So any word at all to give you a hash. So we click on generate, and then you see our output here. So just clicking on this, we copy it. Then going back into IntelliJ, you put it in between here. Get bytes standard sachet. So you're converting into this standard sachets. And the last thing to do is to return new secret key spec. First of all, import the key, then keys dot encoded, then key dot get algorithm. So yes, so we have created the get key. So this function creates JWT. We use this key to create these JWT tokens. So the next one here is claims. So claims here is a map. Claims is a map of the user details. So here is it. So it collects a string, an object, hash map. So I'm going to put in claims here. Then new hash map. Import this, and then that's the claims here. So as I told you before, I told you guys that this function here is the main function for inside this class, inside this JWT utils class. So every other function we're going to create will revolve around this function here. So you see that it now becomes easier for us to know what we're going to do in this class, because we only have one function here, and then we are going to just build every other function from this function right here. So we have created this get key, which the JWT will use to create the token, and that is it here. So the key is using the SHA-512 hashing. So that's what we used here to get the key. And then claims is a map of string and object of the user details. Then subject here is the user name from the user details. The username, that's the one from here. From here. So get username. Then issued at will be the time at which the token was created, the time at which it was created. System.current time millis. So what this current time millis mean here is okay, we import this class here. So it means that you are creating the time at which the JWT tokens was created, but this time is in milliseconds. So the time is in the current time at milliseconds. That's what it means. Then expiration time, we're going to create a function here for the expiration time, the time at which the JWT token is set to expire. So dot get. So I'm using a dot get here because this is a supplier. So a suppliers just like this, a supplier, you use the dot get for suppliers. So we're going to use another supplier to get the date at which the the token is to expire. So we're going to create it now. Coming up here, another private supplier date equal to takes in no arguments, and then date dot from. So I'm saying that from this time, look at date time, from this time, that is the now method here, from this time then to, that is plus minutes. So we can plus minutes, so we can say that where the time you want the JWT tokens to expire in this minutes. So if you say 5, you can say 5 minutes here. So 5 minutes here means that the JWT token will expire in 5 minutes. You can also put in days. If you want it to expire in days, you use days. If you want in hours, in months, or in weeks, or years, so you can state that in 3 years or 2 years or so, that you want the JWT token to last for that to last for 2 years without expiring. So but for now we're going to just use minutes. So for minutes, we're going to say 10 minutes dot at zone. So we're going to, after it gets the current time, and then plus 10 minutes, then the next thing is to convert this time to the system default time. So it converts it to a system default time. So that's dot system default, and then at the end to instance. So this is the expiration time. So it sets the time, the current time, and then you add plus minutes to give it maybe from this particular time to 10 minutes later. So you are saying that JWT token will last for 10 minutes before it expires, and then at zone is to convert this time here to system default time, and then to instance is what gathers it up. So to instance. Yes, so at this point now we have completed this first stage here, the first stage for creating JWT, the get key and the expiration time. So at this point we have created the JWT token. The JWT token has been created now. So that's the first step here. Then the second step is to create functions that will extract the username and expiration date or time from that token that you have created. So but before we can be able to extract the username and the expiration time, we have to create the extract claims function first. So I'll just take this and bring it down here. So first of all, we have to first create the extract claims function. So I'll say public, this is going to be using generics TT, then the extract claims, extract claim. So this will take in the string of token. So it takes in the token that has been created, and then it returns the claims. So that's it here. So we import claims, and then we need a variable to hold the claims that we are going to get out. So that's claims claims equal to, then using the JWTs. So this is a library, JWTs. So if you watched well, that is what we used to create the JWT token, the dot builder. Now we're going to be using dot parser. So parser is going to help us to pass through this token, and after verifying it, it will be able to get the payload, that is the claims from that token for us. And remember what we said, the claims are actually the user details. So the user information is stored in the claims or the payload. So you can see it here. Where is it? So you can see it here, payload, the data of the user. So that's the name of the user, the row of the user, maybe it's the user or the admin, the email, and the every other details of the user is stored in the payload. So we're going to be after passing through the token, we're going to now extract these claims from the tokens. So dot verify with, so verifying by the key is asking us for a key, and this key is going to be the key that we created here. So we're going to say get key dot get. So just this is just the supplier dot get, then dot build, then dot pass signed claims. So the claims is to pass the signed claims, and then we're going to put in the token. Yeah. Then the next thing to do is dot get payload. So this is the method that gets or extracts the claims for us. That's the user details for us into this variable claims. Yeah. So next thing to do is to return claim resolver dot claim. So what we're just essentially just returning these claims back to this function here. So now the extract claims function holds the claims now of from the tokens. So we're going to now create a extract username function, which will be able to collect the username from the claims. So you will see how we do it here. So public function. So in this case now the function is collecting string and is going to be outputting or returning string. So what I mean here is that it's going to be taking in token. So the function is taking in token. There, that's the string, and then it's also returning the username, which is also a string too. So it takes in token and returns the username, which is also a string. Then here we're going to, remember I told you to be able to get the username, we get the username from the extract claims method here. So extract claim, the first one is token. So the extract claim method collects the token and then claims. So claims gets subject. So you see that the claims that were returned here, it has a get subject method which returns the username. So you can see it here, which returns the username of that user. So with this we'll be able to extract the username from that token, and then the next thing to do is to extract the expiration date. So it takes in a string, which is the token, the JWT token, and outputs the dates. So extracts extract expiration date or time. So it takes in token and extracts using extract claim. Claims gets expiration. So you can see it here, expiration, yeah. So it gets the expiration time that the token is set to expire. So at this point now, we have completed the second stage here. So the first stage was creating the JWT token. That's using this function here, create JWT token. And then the next thing we did was to extract the username and expiration date from the created JWT token. And then, but before we could extract them here, we had to first create a extract claim method, which collects the string, that's the token that was created, and then returns the claims from that token. So from the claims that we'll be able to collect or extract from the tokens, we can now use it to get the subject, which is our username, and get the expiration, which is the time at which the token is set to expire. So you can see it here. And then the next thing for us to do is the third step. So the third step here is to, now we have gotten our username and our expiration date and also our token. So the next thing to do is to create functions to check that at every point in time that the token is still valid or has not yet expired. So that's what we are creating now. So public function so this function takes in the string as the token, and then it returns a boolean this thing. So it takes in the token and then returns a boolean. So we're saying is token expired. So this will check the time. This will check the time as of now, and then compare it to the time that is set, that is found here, and then to know if the time has reached, the expiration time has reached or not. So this is it here. So taking in token. So now we are going to use this extract expiration time. We're going to get that time that we set for it to expire. Dot apply token, and then after the new date system dot current time in millis. So what we are doing, what we just said here, is that check that the time at which we gave it to, the time at which we set for the token to expire, that's from here. Check that time, check that time and compare it to the time, the present time now, the current time in milliseconds. So it will check if that time has reached. So if that 10 minutes has elapsed, so it will check it here. If it has expired with the current time now, if it has expired, it will tell you that this is true. If not, it's false. Then the next thing we're going to do here is to now create the function that we hold function of is token valid. So string boolean, so is token valid. So here we're going to be taking two arguments here. So we're going to also taking two arguments here. So I'll explain why. So this will be a by function. So essentially a by function receives two arguments and return one, right? So in this case we are receiving two arguments, which is the token, that's it here, and then the username from the user details, and then we're going to return in if it is true or if it is false. That is a boolean expression here. So here we're going to be taking the token and the username. The token and the username. So we're going to use is token expired. So here we're going to now check. So we're going to now check if the token has expired. And we're also going to check that the username that we extracted from the token, if the username is equal to the username that was what was given at this point here. So that's what we're going to do. Dot equal. So extract username and username. So do you understand this last part? This last part is token valid. So it collects a by function. It collects two arguments and returns one boolean expression here. So it collects the string of the token, and then it also collects the username from the user details. And then we are saying, is the token expired? So it checks if the token is expired from here, and it also checks that the username that is found in the token that we extracted from the token is equal to the username from the user details. So if all this is true, if the time has not yet expired and the username that is found in the token is what is found in the user details, then this expression is going to be true. But if any one is false, so if the token has expired, or if the username is not equal, it will give this to be false. So that's it. So in this stage, just to go through what we have done, the JWT utils, this is a class that is used to, its purpose is to create a JWT token. So in this class, we have three stages for three steps that I'm going to do here. The first one is to create the JWT token. The second one is using the extract claims. We have to extract the username and the expiration date. Then finally, we're going to check if that token is valid or if it is expired. So from the first one, first of all we created this function. After creating this function of create JWT, we use the jwts.builder to generate these claims, and then also generate the JWT token here as a string. Then we implemented the get key function here, which we use the SHA-512 hashing to get this key. And then we also implemented the expiration time function here, so which creates it, which uses the current time the current time that is using this now method here is the current time plus 10 minutes. So the expiration time at which we set for this JWT token to expire is 10 minutes. And then at this point, we just convert it to the system default time zone and then to instant. Then at this point, the creating of the JWT token has been done. Then the next part we're going to do is to now extract the username and the expiration time from the token. That is using the extract claims. So the extract claims method, what it does here using the JWTs.parser. So it passes through this token and then verifies it using that key which we have created up here. Then it passes the signed claims, then gets or extracts the payload. So this payload is the claims, that's the user details, and returns that claims into this extract claim method here. So using the claims that has been extracted from this extract claims method, we can now process the extract username and the extract expiration time. So the extract username takes in the token, and then using the get subject method from in the claims, it extracts the username. So you can see it here. This is the subject. So get subject will return the username here. That's the from this token. And then the expiration time also, this is it here. Get expiration returns the expiration time. That's 10 minutes from the token here. And then after doing this, after this second stage has been done, the third stage now is to now check if the token is still valid or has been has not been expired. So the first we create the is token expired, so which takes in the string token and returns a boolean expression to know if yes it has been expired or no it has not been expired. So using the extract expiration time, it checks that it compares it with the current time. So it checks the time, the 10 minutes that has been given for the token, and then it checks it with the current system time, and then it processes this information to know if the token has expired or not. And then the last one here is then looking at the time and also looking at that the username is equal the username found in the token, that is the username that has been extracted from the token, and the username from the user details, is to check that the two of them are correct, are equal. If they are equal and the expiration time has not yet elapsed, then it will process this information as true, that the token is still valid. So guys, so that's the 3 steps that we need to know to create the JWT util. So you can see that it's very actually it's very easy. It's really very easy. There's really nothing here as we thought it before. So it's just for you to understand these steps. So if you can understand the steps, you can see that it's really very easy to implement. Okay, so going back, so you can see it here. Is it here? So also this. So remember, it's in the payload section of the JWT token that the claims or the user information is stored. So then finally we create the functions to check if the JWT tokens has not expired and if it is still valid, and that is by checking the time has not yet expired and that the username seen or extracted from the tokens matches the one in the user detail or the form. Yes. So that's it. Yeah. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Also I just wanted to add something here. So before we can implement the JWT, we have to go into Maven repository. We have to install these dependencies So JWT, so just going to JWT, so you will see them here. JWT, you need the implementation, you also need the API, and then you need the Json, JWT Json. So you will just collect the dependency here, you copy it, and then also copy the Json and also the one for the implementation. You also copy it here, and then you're going to paste it in the POM file, so the pom.xml. So this is where my own is. So this here, this tree here. So we have one here, we have the second one here, and then the third one here. So before you go into the creating of the JWT utils, you have to first get these dependencies into your system. Okay, so guys, so that's the end of this video. Please make sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment on any feedback you have for me concerning this video, and any other video you would like for me to create for you. Thank you guys.